The video you're about to watch is either sponsored, paid, unpaid, or funded by the viewers, and features products that were either failed, provided, or bought and carefully snuck into the house under the cover of darkness.
Hi! If you haven't seen the video in which I review the BOSS KLON CENTAUR pedal, then there's a card just up there. Don't watch this video, go and watch that video before you go any further in this video. Off you go. Okay, so you're here, which means you did see it, or you're fibbing, which is a terrible thing to do. Who could possibly lie in YouTube land? Well, the BOSS KLON CENTAUR video whole thing was a complete April Fool's prank. It was a hoax. It's false. No way. Not this time. I created it. Pure fiction. It's a total fabrication. But at time of filming this video, that video has had over 30,000 views, so I thought I would really milk it. So I thought I would explain to you how I made that video in case you want to make a BOSS Centaur of your own, and explain to you just how many times and how I lied to you. First up, how the actual physical pedal was built, because a few of you asked me who built it for me or which pedal company did that for me or did Boss send you one, and I'm rather proud to say that I did it all myself, a total solo project on that one, which makes some of the parts of the other video when I'm explaining that, oh, this is a really great looking pedal, it makes that rather cringy. I think it looks brilliant. I like the look very much. It started off with a Boss DS1 pedal that I attempted to do an all-seeing eye modification on and failed. So here is the dead DS1. Originally, I was only going to build a pedal for fun and then make a photo for Instagram and then on the community page of this YouTube channel because that seemed like something I wanted to do and a low-effort April Fool's. Then I realised that I was missing an opportunity, so I placed a call to my friend Richard at Wampler Pedals. There he is, and here's me explaining my idea, and would he like a little piece of the pie? So I carried on working on the pedal, attempting to remove the paint, and here I'm removing the black rubber foot thing. Well, I started scrubbing off the paint, and then walking around in my garden, aimlessly scrubbing. This is where I'm at. That is the main part of the case, so it's mostly silver. I need to get into these little grooves because that's where the new paint will possibly collect. I still need to fill these holes. There's the actual foot switch part, and I'm aware that I didn't really need to go down to the bare metal, but I wanted to because I think that looks super cool. And if you're wondering why I did this by hand rather than with a machine or with some sort of chemical, I enjoy the work. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy making it clean with my hands. And that's why I'm making this video really, or making the whole thing, because I think it's funny and I enjoy it. Now is the time to go shopping, to buy paint and a few other items, I think. I've got to fill these holes, so I'll show you how I'm going to do that in a little bit. Shopping time! Back, I've got the gold hammer look spray, which is the colour I wanted. I was thinking of going silver, but ever since I decided to do this, I wanted to go gold, so I'm very happy about that one. I've got this nut brown spray for the rubber part of the switch, which I'm not sure if it's going to work, if I'm honest, plus it's gloss. I have a backup in case that doesn't work. And then I've got some satin clear lacquer spray. This is a Metallspachtel, which is a metal filler. And all you have to do is add this hardener to it and then apply it and you've got hard metal. So I'm going to do that now to repair these extra holes that I drilled once upon a time. Also, I need to mention that at this point I don't know if I'm going to add the Wazza switch or might just pretend that it's not a Wazza one. That depends on how well it goes with the rubber thing, rubber foot switch part. There it is, there's phase one of phase several. There's a tractor! I've just washed the rubber part that goes on the foot switch and it's now outside in the sun drying. I am ready with my nut brown spray and just for the record, I really do not think that this is going to work. I really don't, but gotta try, that's the point. Half the fun, most of the fun I'm having is knowing that I'm doing something that's completely unnecessary and therefore Doesn't matter if it doesn't work. Oh, it's gone terribly. Oh no. That does not look good. Back to the drawing board. I didn't expect it to go well, but I did not expect it to go that badly. I'm covered in paint and that looks terrible. Let's try again. I've washed it off a little bit, but I don't think this is going to work. Whoops. Look at that. It's brown and it's kind of the right brown, but it doesn't look good. I've got to clean up that O. Maybe I can salvage. I don't know. That's pretty much dry now. It's a bit tacky, but it's been about 20 minutes. And let's get this finished. That's a lot more successful than Project Poo Switch, which so far has been a failure. Let's leave that. Let's resist the temptation to clean that up and just leave it, and I'll file it back later. Get a sticker on that. This looks flipping awful. That looks terrible, so I almost certainly won't be using that, which is a shame. But yeah, we've got plan B, as I said. Now's it's time to spray paint this. Here it is. This is coat 1. Too much paint on this one, definitely, so I might have to scrap some of that back. That is the extent of my coating skill, but that's looking pretty good. If we compare to the original picture, I'm quite happy with that. Although some of this is showing through, so I'm definitely going to have to do something about that. So the painting should have been simple, but it wasn't because I'm not a painter. And it was very, very cold here in Austria, so I had to keep going out, heating up the heat gun to warm up the actual case itself, and then putting the paint in warm water and doing all these sort of tricks that I'd learned from watching other people do it really, really well. And I hacked together this paint job, which actually turned out pretty well. However, the challenge really for me was the decal. I'd never done a decal before. This is how I did it. The first step was to find the Centaur graphic, which I found, but it had a background. So using Photoshop, I removed the background, turned it into a vector, and then imported it into Adobe Illustrator. I know, right? Then what I did was take some Boss fonts that I found online, and it looked terrible. It did not look believable. And it was so important to me that this pedal, in fact, it's over here. Still here, look, there it is. By the way, that light has been on for, I think, about 5-6 days now. More about that later. The graphics, the actual writing, what I did was I went to the Boss website, downloaded the user manuals for other pedals which had those letters in there. And then the output, input all comes from the manuals of the Boss products that actually themselves, which I screenshot, imported into Photoshop, and then removed the backgrounds and turned it into a transparent vector. Yeah. It took a long time. That's not the sort of job that I normally do. That's the finished decal. Printed out some decal paper. Thanks very much to Stuart Tate of Tate FX for the heads up. Placed it into some warm water, waited for about 30 seconds, and then I could gently sort of push it off with my thumb and fingers, sliding it off, and then placing it on the pedal, nice and wet and rough looking. Then the second part did the same thing. So there's the decal on, and now I need to fake the electronics. I think that looks pretty good. I think if I hold this at the right angle, it looks okay, but under too much scrutiny, that decal is not good. Now, a few of you guessed that I built the CT3 mock-up myself, and there were some theories going around as to where the parts came from. You'll notice that the LED is still on, has been for days. We know the enclosure is a DS1, but the other parts are not from a DS1, and those Boss enthusiasts may recognize some parts, but let me clarify exactly where each and every part of this completely fabricated pedal came from. Firstly, DS1 case. That's the majority of the pedal with some holes filled. The first donation pedal is this, the TR2 Boss Tremolo, because this has gold knobs on it. And it was only through luck, it was the very last step that I realized the original DS1 knobs were filthy, dirty, and not believable as a new pedal. So they're slightly scratched, Not terrible condition, but not brand new. This TR2, however, which is coming in a video very soon, is absolutely brand new, so I stole the knobs off there. I also stole the new-looking foot switch screws, which attach that. So thank you, TR2. That's the first donation pedal. What else comes next? The next part is a part that you don't really see, but just for a little bit in the video, is the back plate. And you'll notice that this, firstly, is the actual serial number of this, the Boss VB2W. So that's the Wazacraft vibrato, and I needed a Wazacraft pedal because I needed the back of the pedal to say Japan. And I don't know if this attention to detail was too much and too geeky, but I needed it to be believable in order to even begin the video. So this back panel is from that VB2W, and I photoshopped and masked my handout of the serial number. I know. Then what have we got? We've got the sockets on the side. Actually came from this, an old booster pedal made from Coco. Silver screw also came from the VB2W. Sorry, silver screw. That was a nice little touch. Something that got kind of overlooked was the brown Boss rubber foot switchy thing. Now, this is the one that I made, Project Poo Switch. It looks awful. It's just, actually on camera it doesn't look that, no, it does look bad. It does not look as good as that one. It looks handmade. And I believe that had I used that in the original video, I think it would have been a dead giveaway. And as I've said, it's really important to me that this looked right. So you might know of a Boss pedal that has a brown foot switch, and you might think it was a Fender, and you'd be right. It's this, the FRV1 Fender 63 Reverb, and you'll notice it's missing its brown little switch. That's because I bought this, so the video actually cost me quite a bit of money, because that's brand new, and bought it and ripped it straight off there and stuck it straight on the CT3. That's dedication. If I take the back off the pedal, you'll see exactly what's going on inside, and this will reveal how I got the sound of the Boss Centaur CT3. Have a look. You ready? Open. Ta-da! It's just some really crappy old pots, some jack sockets that I ripped out of this as well, out of the Coco booster. I didn't even cut them off the PCB board. I just cut them so they would be small enough to fit in there. And then I've got a 9-volt battery running that LED. And that's it. Oh, then and then the power input insert also had to look new, and that also came out of the Coco booster. So from a distance, it was believable. Up close, it's just a box of nothing. That probably makes you think, hey Andy, if there's nothing inside the Boss CT3W fake, then what exactly were you comparing to the Wampler Tumnus? Well, here comes the cheeky part. You might remember that in the video I said that in the interests of transparency I'm going to use this homemade looper pedal, insinuating that the guitar was going in here and coming out of there into the amp, and then this socket would activate this loop, meaning the Centaur, so that would go to the input of the Centaur, so the CT3, and the output back into here, and then the Tumnus would be here, so that goes to the input of the Tumnus, and that goes to the output. However, that's not how I did it. Now we know there's no sound coming from this because it's just an LED in a box. That's it, with some fake dummy knobs. All I did was run the guitar into the Tumnus, and when I switched between the two pedals, I just pressed that for the sound, because you never actually see that in the video, and every sound sample that you hear in that video is the Tumnus. I change nothing. I might change the way I play ever so slightly, but this is what made me feel that people are either trolling me or makes me worry about the status of some people's ears. Every sound sample you hear when I'm switching between these two pedals is just me playing through the Tumnus twice. And then when I change the settings on everything, again, I'm just playing through the Tumnus twice. It's the same pedal. I know, maybe I'm too proud of myself for that one, but that's super cheeky. The first part of the video is done, where I introduce it and talk about the history of the pedal and try and put in some stuff about the fact that it's not actually a Boss Wazacraft pedal, the way I say it is that it's not a Boss Wazacraft pedal, meaning that it's not a Boss pedal at all. I wonder if people get that. I wonder if you'll get that after. Maybe go back and watch the original video, the actual video after this, and see if I deliver that line properly. I'm about to plug it in and play it, but this is actually what's going to happen. There's the CT3, and I have to get used to saying it because it needs to sound convincing in the video. It's powered up, but it's actually plugged into nothing because the battery's inside, and all that battery is doing is powering that LED socket light. Then we've got the pedal is plugged into itself, just so it looks like it's plugged in. I've got my branding there just to make sure that I get some branding in there. Then the Wampler Tumnus is actually the pedal that's going to be delivering the sound. So the guitar's going in to the Strobo Stomp HD from Peterson, into the Tumnus, out of the Tumnus, all the way back here, and it will be going into that Fender. I haven't plugged it in yet. I've just finished, and that was fun. That was tough. The comparing to the Tumnus was difficult. I really wanted to watch my words and not say Boss did this, or Bill Finnegan did this, or Wampler did this. So I think nowhere in the video am I saying someone other than me is responsible for doing something. But it is sweating hot because of those tube amps in here. Now it's time to edit and start to fool some people. So that's it. That is how I built the fake April Fool's 2021 Boss Centaur CT3 fake collaboration with Bill Finnegan. And I'm going to put it up for sale on Reverb because why not? And also that's what Klon pedals are for, right? They're not for playing, they're for either looking at or saying I've got one or selling on for a ridiculous amount of money. So, and also people want to buy this pedal. So if you want to own this exact pedal with these exact parts plus the 4 screws that hold this back panel on, I'll even include the battery, that'll be on my Reverb store, which doesn't even exist yet at the end of this video because I'm going to premiere it. So yeah, this can be yours. I don't expect it to either A, sell, or B, stay on reverb.com long enough for it to sell because it's a prop. Anyway, if you want it, reverb.com. I'll put some links under the video in the video description. Yeah, so did I fool you in the nicest sense of the term, or was there something that, what was the thing that made you think, hang on, this can't be real? Was it the fact that it was April 1st, or was it some fault in my design and or video editing skills? Whatever it was, if you did get fooled or didn't, let me know in the comments section down below, and maybe I'll do another one next year. And if you have any ideas, you can also let me know down in that comments section. As I've said comments, it means that we're at the end of the video, which means you are in the end of the video club to prove that you are a member of this prestigious elite. When you leave your comment down below, please also include the phrase, I want one. And that'll let me know that you made it this far in the video, and we can all read people's comments when they don't understand why people have written all the same thing. That makes me giggle. I genuinely want to see how long the battery lasts in this because it's only powering an LED, which should be like nothing. So it'll be in the background of many of my videos. You can see other videos from me over there. And if you really want to, you can subscribe. But I do ask that if this video brought you any joy whatsoever, then please leave me a thumbs up. Bye!